Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if the bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there are 2 assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this afternoon. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Don't solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Jacqueline McMillan. Afternoon, Ms. McMillan. What's your date of birth?
9271.
All right. The charge this afternoon is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, do you want to represent yourself? Do you plan to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
The public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
No prior record, Judge.
Okay. And Jacqueline, I have an address for you on McNeil Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Currently, yes.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
I'm on a leave of absence from Walmart. I just had back surgery.
Okay. All right. And were you and Mr. McMillan still living together?
Yes, we're going through a divorce.
Okay. And
trying to
is the divorce filed here in Hernando County?
It's filed. We're supposed to finalize on Thursday the 12th.
Okay. Jacqueline, I'm going to set your bond at $100. However, condition of the bond, while we're getting this resolved, is that you'll have no contact with Mr. McMillan. You certainly can still attend any hearings that you have to attend relative to your divorce, and you certainly can participate in those hearings. But outside of that, you two won't have any contact till we get this charge resolved. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact them through social media. Don't have a third person contact them. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants to contact, so if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or your lawyer or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you at the jail this afternoon up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on January 3rd Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Kira Weston. Afternoon, Kira. What's your date of birth?
4/26/89.
Kira, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $677. Do you have that much money, Kira?
No, I don't. My fiance informed me this morning he paid $200 towards that.
Okay. Who did he pay?
Okay. I'm not sure.
Okay. You have a job these days?
Me, no.
How long has it been since you worked?
Almost 4 years.
All right. Can your fiance get some money to the jail to get you out?
Yeah, he's attempting to. I'm not for sure. He's a trucker, so he's not currently home.
Okay. Is there somebody else that can get some money to the jail to get you out?
Possibly next week.
Okay. I'll find you in contempt for failing to pay child support. As a sanction for that contempt, I'm going to sentence you to 10 days in the county jail or until you pay a $50 cash purge. $50 gets you out of jail. If you can't get out, you're going to do 10 days. So try to find somebody to bring $50 to the jail. Once that's done, this problem still doesn't go away. You still have to see the folks at Child Support Enforcement and try to get this cleared up. If you don't get it cleared up, eventually the process will repeat itself and you'll get arrested again, all right?
I understand.
Thank you. Robert Atkinson. Afternoon, Robert. What's your date of birth?
9/21/65.
Robert, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupi or Helis for me. It's my case. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm going to leave that the same. I'll have you back in court on January 3rd. Public defender's going to come see you before then, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Scott Brady.
Sir.
Afternoon, Scott. What's your date of birth?
11/29/61.
All right, Scott, I got two charges today. They're both felony petty thefts. There's probable cause for both those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Judge, in October of 2018, the defendant had a criminal mischief. In 2014, a violation of probation on a possession of cocaine. He was in prison from June of 2012 through May of 2013. In 2012, he had a burglary of an occupied structure, a grand theft of a motor vehicle, and he was in custody. He was with the DOC from October 2010 to August 2011. In 2010, he had a violation of probation. There was a grand theft and a trespass. He was in DOC from March of 2008 to June of 2009. In 2007, he had a petty theft, burglary of a structure. He was in DOC from August of 2005 through May of 2006.
Gotcha. I'm done. Scott, I got a address for you on Tranquility Lane. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Since 2001.
All right. You working these days?
I collect SSI, sir.
All right. I'll set the bond at $2,000 on each one. That's a total of 4. They're both coming back on the 30th of December. If you're able to get out, you should contact the PD. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank
Thank you. Randall Leonard. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
42388.
Randall, the charge is possession of hashish. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the PD, state.
2017, he failed to appear. He had a petty theft, 2 petty thefts from 2016 to /2017. In 2016, he failed to appear. Another petty theft. 2016, running on a suspended license. Possession of a medicinal drug without prescription. There's a marijuana charge from 2015. Possession of cocaine. 2014, he failed to appear. He made a false report in 2013, driving on a suspended license. In 2009, he had a violation of probation, looks like on a criminal mischief. 2008, he had a failure to appear. 2008, a possession of marijuana.
That's good. Randall, I got an address for you on Maxon Drive in Land O'Lakes. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
2 weeks. I just moved back from California.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm supposed to start. I just got back.
Okay.
I've been here 10 days.
Okay. I'll leave the bond at the $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 30th of December. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. David Rivera? Sorry. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/28/1989, sir.
David, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
Appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date, David. I'll have you back in court on the 23rd of December. They told me the
Yes, sir.
30th. The right day is the 23rd. PD will come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Rudy? Afternoon, Michael. What's your date of birth?
October 15th, 1989.
Michael, you're also hearing a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. In your case, he also found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
The public defender's office, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 23rd of December. PD will come see you before that, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Brian Snyder? Afternoon, Brian. What's your date of birth?
3/19/1979.
Brian, the street charges: burglary of a dwelling while armed, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. I have probable cause for all three. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State.
2018, possession of cannabis, failure to appear. 2017, possession of controlled substance. 2013, he had a battery that was dropped. 2013, DUI. 2007, violation of probation on a battery, 2 batteries from 2007. In 2007, possession of paraphernalia, possession of cannabis, DUI. In 2007, there was also a domestic violence battery. In 2001, a violation of probation on an armed burglary of a dwelling and grand theft. He was in custody in DOC from January of 96 through May of 1999.
Okay, that's good. Brian, where you been staying lately? You been staying with somebody or living outdoors? What's going on?
Staying with somebody.
Okay, where's that address?
I don't know the address exactly.
Where is it?
It's in Hernando.
Hernando in Citrus County or in Hernando County?
Hernando County.
Okay. Spring Hill or Brooksville?
Spring Hill.
Okay. How long you been there?
About a week.
Where were you before that?
Streets.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No.
I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $10,000 on the burglary, $2,000 on the meth, $1,000 on the paraphernalia. Total is $13,000. You'll be back in court on the 30th of December. if you're able to get out, you should see the PD right away. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Maurice Stringer? Afternoon, Mr. Stringer. What's your date of birth?
October 9, 1997.
Mr. Stringer, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge down there found probable cause for a grand theft and set your bond at $2,500. I can't change that bond. If you're able to post it, then you can go down to Newport Richey, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, we'll notify Pasco right away. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. Doesn't take 5 with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here at 5, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. Donald Ripple. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/4/91.
Donald, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Heineman. He found probable cause for 1 count of domestic battery by strangulation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Private counsel.
Very good. State, looks like he has an open case.
He does. It's 2019 CF 2271 set for pretrial on December 10th, and I am asking at this time that the court revoke his bond on that charge.
What was the number again?
I'm sorry, 2019 CF 2271. And that's a fleeing to elude. It came in September. In
That's him too. Oh, 2271 is going to be this one. This
Oh,
one.
you're right.
This
I
is this.
apologize.
Yeah, 1810 is the
I
one
just
that's
wrote it.
open.
Yes, I just wrote it down wrong, obviously.
Okay.
That's
And
mine.
you're looking for a recommitment state?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
And he had from July of 2019 in Pasco County, he had a possession of cocaine that was dropped and a carrying concealed firearm that was dropped.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Ripple, I have an address for you on Ayers Road. Is that where you're living?
Yes, sir.
Is that where your dad lives too?
I won't be staying there.
I know you'll be staying. You have a job these days?
I'm on disability, sir.
Okay. All right. So on this case, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with your father. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then in that case, I'm going to move to the 10th of December because that's where your other case is. And then,
Yes, sir.
and then with that other case, of course, when you're out on bond on a criminal case, job number 1 is don't pick up new charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release at 19 CF 1810. So we're going to hold you without bond at least until next week when you're back in court on these charges.
Yes,
Judge Merritt can, of course, revisit your bond then if he wishes, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jose Jimenez. Sir, I understand you'd like the public defender?
For the time being, I'm still looking for,
Okay. Okay. This is 19 CF 2288. I'll appoint the public defender to represent this gentleman. He's back in court on December 10th in front of Judge Merritt.
What was the case number, Judge?
It is 19 CF 2288.
88.
Yep. And Edward Woods. Afternoon, Mr. Woods. What's your date of birth?
1794.
All right, Mr. Woods, I have a number of issues for you today. First is a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation.
I'm sorry.
Then I have a warrant signed by, that I signed. I found probable cause for 4 counts, possession of crack cocaine with intent, sale of crack cocaine, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I have a second warrant that I signed, and this one I found probable cause for possession of crack cocaine, sale of crack cocaine, unlawful two-way communication device, and paraphernalia. And then another warrant, this one, this actually isn't a warrant, this is arrest for possession of cocaine, resisting without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And finally, a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione, 1 count of felony battery, domestic in nature. There's probable cause all the way around, sir, as to those charges. You're going to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'll take the public defender for now.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. On the VOP, of course, the bond on the warrant is no bond. I can't change that. That case is coming back on the 23rd of December. They may have told you the 30th, but all of these cases will be coming back December 23rd, so it's no bond on the VOP. On the first drug-related warrant, we'll leave the bonds pursuant to the warrant, which are $5,000, $10,000, $3,000, and $1,000, $2,000, and $1,000 respectively. Same with the second drug-related warrant. So the bonds there are 5, 5, 2, and 1. And then on the new arrests per the schedule, which are 5, 1, and 1, which gives us a total on those of $38,000. On the felony battery, I'll set the bond at $5,000. On that one, you're ordered to have no contact with Miss Willis. Obviously, the bonds don't matter too much because of the VOP. They'll all be back on the 23rd, and the public defender will be out to see you prior to your court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right.